Hello, it's Leanne in Adelaide. I'm going to do a quick tour of the garden, just talk through some of the things I might have planned when the weather gets warmer again. So, middle of winter now, and everything's looking a little bit sad, but still not too bad. Alright, so here's my project that I did a while back, where John helped drilling some holes in the bird bath. And you can see the string of beans has grown quite nicely. I've already propagated, it was in the ground just over here. I've taken out of that spot. I propped it up so that the string of beans can grow even longer with the extra room. So you can see it's just starting to trail over the sleepers there. And then I've got another one here in a pot. I've got string of beans everywhere. They're so hardy, so easy to grow. Behind here I've got a little pot of mint, and that is Moroccan mint, which is great for making tea. I've got 3 really large ficus benjamina. That's one there, and that's been cut back a while back because it was just getting too lanky. And over in here we've just got a little fake birdie in the cage. Along here are some self-watering pots. The first one here, I've got ficus ruby, and they're just cuttings that I've put in there to hopefully produce roots. And I think they are, because look, you've got new growth there, so that seems to be working. I'm going to leave them there until springtime when the weather's warmer, and then I can pot them up. Over here we've got Perennial Basil. That's got a really unusual taste. It's very aniseedy. I just realised I was shaking the camera then. And next to it, this is a rather forlorn looking thing with a couple of weeds in it. Just down here, that's tarragon. So I think it dies back a fair bit in winter, so hoping that will come good in spring. So it's just hanging in there. And then in this pot here, I've got one, I actually had 3 to start with, but I've got one left of baby elephant ears that were little pups that I planted up. That one looking a bit forlorn, but I think it's going to be okay. Then I've got this tree here, ficus benjamina. Again, it had to be cut back because it was scraping the ceiling there of the alfresco. And then I've got all these hanging pots here. This is the burrow's tail, and that's different form, so it's got kind of more of a pointed end to the leaves. Different form to this, which is sometimes called baby's burrow tail, which has got a more rounded one. And another one there, and then another one over here. And moving along now, I haven't tidied anything up. This looking very messy, so this isn't normally quite as messy as this, but I've just kind of left things as they were part way through tidying up, and it's just been so cold and yucky, haven't been bothered. I need to get some more plant stands. I've got lots of pots there. I've got to work out what to do with them. I've got a few plant stands around. I'll go through those in a moment. And the third ficus is here, so you can see that one is we haven't really pruned it at all, and there's a special reason why we're not pruning this one. We have got the start of a nest in there. Now I don't know if we can see that very well. The birds aren't there at the moment, it's still being built. So from inside we can watch 2 honey eaters furiously flying backwards and forwards, bring little sticks and other things in, so can't wait to see whether that's successful. The thing I'm concerned about though, it is winter, and normally they nest in warmer weather, and I have seen a nest before in another one, and they just abandon it. So I don't know whether it's because they're young and they're immature and they don't know what they're doing properly, but we'll find. Hopefully they'll get a successful hatching of eggs, but we'll see what happens. So this table here has got all my various cuttings of, well, they're not cuttings, they're fully rooted now, of string of beans and string of bananas, the burrow's tail, and also the string of pearls. Now that one there's got a little sign that says giant SOP, which means giant string of pearls. You can see the size of some of those pearls is fairly big, and that's compared to, not much difference really, but compared to that one you can see a little bit of a difference. I'm hoping that they're going to get even bigger as the plant matures. This pot here, somehow I think I ended up with maybe one strand of the giant string of pearls and some strands of the normal one, so I might try and tease that out in spring and pot them up separately. Then I've got a few cuttings of the, oh no, this is the bane of our winter here. These caterpillars drive us nuts. They love eating succulents as well. They eat all our Ipomoea. Ipomoea is almost completely stripped, and that one's just having a little munch. You can see it actually moving its little head there too. I'm going to quietly remove that to another part of the garden. I don't kill them, so hence they keep coming back. So we might do, if they get really bad, we'll use dipel, which is organic. It's still going to kill the animal, but yeah, there's a point where I just can't handle them destroying everything. Alright, so this is the string of dolphins. So the leaves kind of flatten out when they don't get enough sun. They don't really look like dolphins, but they'll revert again back once we get more light in spring. So I started with 3 string of bananas, 3 string of beans plants. I keep calling them those interchangeable names, and now I've got heaps. And the original ones that I keep propagating from are over here, and these have been propagated multiple times. So that's one there, you know, stand, and then I've got another shorter one, you know, short stand, and finally that one there. So, and then down below there, that's just a recent cutting. I'm going to walk down the side of the house and show you some other cuttings I've got, because it's just prolific. Like, I can't recommend this plant highly enough. It's so easy to look after. They actually handle a lot more water than a lot of succulents. So if you're one of those that overwaters, and I know there's a lot of us out there that tend to be on the side of overwatering, then you can probably not kill this plant. Look at that. That is cuttings only. I just literally cut the long strands when they get too long and they're dragging on the ground, and throw them in there and throw some soil over the top, and then they just form roots. Look at that. That tray there is absolutely chock-a-block. And these, like, I could easily make another large one with the stands like I showed you earlier. Out of all this, I could have multiple ones of those. I'm thinking of doing a whole row of them. John thinks I'm mad. I just keep propagating them. And I've given some away to a couple of friends of mine, and there's one of them. She got hers about a year ago, and it's already, she's hung it up in her al fresco, and it's already reached the ground, so it's grown, like, I think it's roughly about 1.7 metres. Alright, so the water features over here, that creates a nice little ambience. We get road noise here, being on the main road. Right, just quickly go through the other pots. So this is probably not so much of a garden tour today, it's more of a pot tour. And I'll maybe do a really quick little garden section right at the end. So hang around for that, because I we'll go through that later on. So here I've got various forms of aloes or gasterias. So aloe aristata, that's the one that's kind of got that spiky look, and they get kind of rounded, nice rounded rosette as they get older. When they're young, they're quite kind of spiky. And the other ones here are gasterias. They can handle, both of those can handle really low light, and that's why they're sitting over here, because that gets hardly any sun at all, and yet they can handle it. So a good one to know if you're a succulent lover. These will even thrive, not just survive, they'll thrive in almost complete shade. This rather forlorn looking plant here is one of the variegated ginger plants, and I dug that up from a really large clump, so it's probably going to take a while to recover. I'm saying that probably spring it will start looking half reasonable. Now over here I've got some Sansevieria snake plant cuttings. They're doing okay. You can see some of those are producing little side offshoots. So when you cut up one of those with the yellow margins, you actually cut that up and it produces a little pup on the side. That will not have the yellow margins, it'll just have the sort of white and green variegation. So the only way you can get the yellow is by division, like actually literally dividing the plants up through the root section. Like say you might be able to make 3 out of 1, but if you're just doing it out of the leaf cutting, you won't get the variegation. Right, so now got lots of succulents here, various bits and pieces. We've got heaps. I've got heaps and heaps and heaps of these, which is Crassula ovata, and it's called Golem, as I understand. That can also handle a fair amount of water. If you overwater a little bit, it's generally okay. And that is so easy to propagate. I've got heaps and heaps of plants of those. And I've just got various other jade plants, Crassula. That one I pruned back a while ago, and it's just putting on some new leaves. Up here I've got more rubber plant, ficus ruby, and some of those are cuttings that I rooted in water, and then I waited till they had lots of roots and planted them out. So that one there is an example of that. These are a couple of really lanky looking cuttings that probably won't ever look like a really nice plant, but I might use that as a plant to propagate off in future. And there's a couple more, a bit crooked there. Some of their form's not all that great, but I think if I put multiple plants in one pot, I can make one like nice looking plant out of it. And then I've got lots of Ionians as well, mostly in the garden, but a few down here. Now this one here was in one of my recent videos where I had these pots from Kmart and potted them up, and in that pot I've got a string of dolphins. Now the reason why it's sitting out here and why all these are sitting out here all by themselves is because they have got some scale on there, not bad, and it hasn't affected really the growth of the plant, but I just can't seem to get rid of it. So I keep spraying weekly. I think eventually I will get rid of it, but it's taking forever. There I've got some hippeastrums. One looks like it might have been attacked by a bit of mealybug, and I think I might have lost that, but I'm going to leave it there just in case. And I can see a little bit of white stuff there, so I don't think they're all gone yet. And then that one's looking a lot healthier. Then I've got these flapjacks, Kalanchoe. I bought 2 of those. Prices in Australia are really high, so the actual normal price of that, down the bottom there, $21.98, but it was on clearance for $10. So that was a reasonable buy. And that you can see they've got pups down below as well. This one I've cut the head off, and you've got multiple pups in there, and the head's gone out the front. Some more Ionians. That's a different form of Kalanchoe, and I can't recall what that one's called. You can see plenty more of these golems there, heaps there. This is a nice one. It's just a normal green Ionian, but it's got a little flower head, and it's quite pretty. It's like little daisies, look at that. And that's not even in full flower yet, so it's going to look really pretty. Look, more Crassula golems down there. That one's a Euphorbia fire sticks, but it seems like it wants to die all the time, and it's so near death all the time, and yet somehow it's still going. Got a few here, a few more golems there, look at that. Kind of pruning a couple of them to make them look more like a bonsai. As you can see that effect hopefully. And in that one there, giving it a bit of a trunk. And then this is just a multi-planted one with various succulents. And then I've got another big one over there. And again, I've pruned that back to give it a slightly more bare branch type effect. This one here is a lovely, lovely one. As far as I know, it's called Echeveria in Bracata. I've got it as a cutting from a garden place we stayed at, but we're not sure what the name is. And that gets really nice stressed out colours if it's planted in full sun. Gets that red edging and all that, so it looks really good with the blue and the red. Alright, pretty much done most of the, apart from over here, that's just a whole pile of various bits and pieces. Some of those need to be potted up. And I've got leaf cuttings of the burrow's tail in there, which will eventually make little plantlets. Right, down the side I've got hibiscus in pots. I've got a few other succulents in pots. Really quick tour there. So that's the hibiscus there. That's behind our kitchen window, and what that does is that provides kind of nice little green backdrop. That's our cooktop area behind there. More succulent plants along here. There's another one I'm kind of training to have that bare stem look. You've got all sorts here. They're colouring up because they're getting the sun and the cold, so I like the effect of that. And I've been treating them mean as well, not watering them much at all, just natural rainfall. And down here I haven't got around to doing stuff, they're just lying on the ground, but you can see that they've been there for over a month. Yes, I know, I should have done something about it sooner, but eventually I'll get around to it. They've got nice little callousing there of the, so that'd be good to plant up. And then these Ionians actually grow actively in winter, so I've still got a bit of a chance to get them in, and they'll be fine. And look what I just spotted. They've got lots of food there. Oh well, let them go. They can't eat all that surely. Right, finally, if you've been patiently waiting to see the garden as well, I'm going to finally go back and finish off doing a really quick garden tour. Just a few little things to note. Even though it's winter, we've still got some cannas flowering, which is great because the honey eaters actually go there for their nectar. Their diet is mostly, oh, there's one over there you probably can't see, up on the palm there. No, it's anyhow, their diet is mostly insects apparently, but the nectar is really good for winter when it gives them the high energy that they need. And there's another Ionian that's flowering. I've just planted random succulents, like just cuttings and stuff. I just plonk them in. So I've done that here at the end of the garden bed there. You can see they're all growing quite well. The bird bath that used to be in this spot here, I've put in a ginger plant, which seems to have taken really well to being planted in the ground. Another lot of the division is planted over there, and yeah, that's looking okay, I guess. Really pleased with how the palms are growing. These are Bangalow Palms, native to Queensland, but they're growing really well, even in winter. You can see some spikes of new growth. So just along there, that one there, and then they've all got some new growth showing. Down here, this is a golden cane palm. Different look. And once they get a bit older, you actually do get that, start to get the golden, slightly golden trunk, which looks nice offsetting with the green. I've got plans to do, maybe put some more pots in the garden just to add a bit of variety. So there I've got a pot of one of the cannas. So next year that will flower prolifically. This year it's only done a bit because they were all newly planted. And that way I can move them around and create a bit of little pockets of colour. Got a lot of shade in the garden now, so it's really hard to get that colour I like. Oh, there's a little honeyeater just there. I think he's a bit annoyed that I'm right near the canna and it can't go and get the nectar. So I'm going to be moving soon, mate. I won't be long. And in the background, I don't know if you could hear that little warbling. We've got seem to have a family of magpies that hangs around, not in our garden, but sort of right near our garden. No, over here. I love these. Every time I do a garden tour, back garden, I always have to show these off. My little sloths. And look at the amount of, like, it's only a tiny little planting area, and look how long that is. And it's even producing flowers. Now, when they produce flowers, I'm not a big fan of the flowers, but when they produce them, it's a sign that they're happy. So sometimes plants produce flowers as a panic thing because they're worried that they're going to die. But I find that it's not the case with these string of beans. It's actually when they're happy. And over here, oh, I've got spider webs everywhere on this one. This one is got a little, this is planted a lot later than the other one. This is a string of dolphins, and you can see some of the leaves have kind of gone, oh, look at our little honeyeater friends back again. Yeah, okay, I'm going to be moving soon. I know you want the nectar. Right, well, let's trundle along. And that's to show you how bad our Ipomoea looks. Isn't that pathetic? It's badly eaten. I had, not only was it being badly eaten by caterpillars, it's also had a really bad bout of spider mite. I'm just moving through. Here's the lime green one. That's looking really bad as well. I hope that most of these have got underground corms and then they'll just reshoot again in spring. But this is the area here that was devastated by spider mite. So you can hardly any foliage left. So this plant's growing well. Bird of paradise. Oops, got some bright sunshine. Let's move around this way. So that's way taller than me now, which is great. And in springtime, it'll push out new growth. Now, just a little while ago, a honeyeater flew straight past me. I just stopped recording for a moment. And it went to land on the cannas over there, but then I got a bit scared. I was a bit too close. I started moving. So if I move away, it'll probably go back over there. This is an Australian native. It's Andanthosis. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. We call it the fluffy plant. And this one's called bronze. So some of them have like silver tips. This one has little kind of bronzy colour on the tips, which looks quite cute. You can see that. That's the original elephant ears plant from the very first garden project video we ever did, where we transplanted it from the balcony. So that's still producing pups that we harvest and put around the garden. Oh, this one's got a new leaf coming out. Yay. Didn't notice that last time, I don't think. I've shoved a few of the cuttings of succulents along there. I might do a few more in the garden. John suggested that I might get a lot of those cuttings and put them in where the Ipomoea used to be, so that if the Ipomoea dies down a lot or gets eaten badly, at least we've got something on the ground. So that might be a good idea. Now, really pleased about this. Cut back this Dracaena marginata. So you got the taller ones there. This was actually the tallest one, but I cut it back. And look, got 3 growth points. Yay. Excellent. Really happy with that. Here's another one. There's a couple. Another elephant ears there. Another one there. And behind, this is one leaf of one of the giant elephant ears, and the other one has completely died off, which I hope that doesn't mean it's died down completely. Oh, there's another part of the leaf. I'm hoping that that's got enough underground that it will come good again in the warmer weather. Right, so the plans are to add more ground cover, try and get some more Ipomoea growing densely. I will sprinkle it regularly with water, so try to do it every day or every second day in the warmer weather, just so that there's a bit more humidity. I think that will discourage the spider mite as well. Oh, and John's just opened the back door. He said a honey-eater just went straight past me. Oh, there, I can see down the side there. You can see. Oh, you probably can't see it very well. On that bamboo, and it uses that, and then it sort of pops in and goes over to the nest it's starting to make. Oh no, it's gone off. Oh, the yard next door. Anyhow, I think they're going to be happy when I go inside. So, and the honeys are just going to be waiting to launch themselves onto the cannas that are still there. And next time I might be doing a front garden tour, very small front garden. I've got plans for that, like to change the front garden from bright colours to pastels over time, and I might work some of the ones with the bright colours into the backyard possibly. Yeah, we'll just see how we go with that. The backyard suits the tropical style, and the bright colours suit the tropical style. At the front, I was going for a more cottagey look, and the kind of clashing colours I've got out there don't necessarily complement it. So I'm in two minds there, but we'll work that out. So that might be coming up in spring. We'll see how we go with that one. Last but not least, I bought this just the other day. So that's our gate. We walk through our neighbour's sort of side yard, and then it's only a very short walk to the beach. We're about 150 metres from the beach. I thought that was so cute. It's got kind of fake busted look on it already. Alright, so that's all from me. Definitely all from me now. All finished. And see you next time. Bye bye.